Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. This video is part of the YouTube series that I'm making called Zero to Hero Business Central. In this series, I already uploaded few videos on my YouTube channel. In this particular video, we are going to learn about web services in Business Central. Firstly, let us actually understand what exactly web service means in general terms. After that, let us understand web services from the perspective of Business Central. Let us actually understand web services from the perspective of developing an application. Let us say you are a developer or you are a project manager or a business analyst who is basically working on developing an application. Let us say this is that application that you are working on. This application is basically going to show weather related information. So, for example, whenever a user lands on your web page, it is basically going to show weather related information. So, you are basically working on building this weather application such that the user can see weather related information of different cities. You basically developed all the UI components, like all the components that the user can see on the screen, but the underlying data you don't know, like for example in which city what is the weather, or what is the temperature, how the rain is going to be. You don't know all that particular data, but that particular data is basically provided by other application. Let's say we can call this as application 2, and let's say we are building application 1, and this is the weather related data. So basically, what we are saying is the application 2 is basically providing the weather related data. Now, in application 1, we are just building the UI component, but the underlying data is being provided by the application 2. So now we should have a way, or we should find a way in which we can basically consume the data from the application 2, and we can basically show that data through the UI to the user. So basically what we have to do is we have to get the data from application 2 to application 1. Now we have to get the data. The question is how? So basically the application 2 is built in the form of an API. Now what is an API? API stands for application programming interface. It is a way in which the systems or the applications can share data or communicate with each other. So here also it basically fits the problem, right? We wanted to have the data from the application 2, and application 2 basically provides the data in the form of an API. So what we have to do is we have to basically send a request from application 1 to application 2 requesting the data that we wanted. For example, we wanted the data related to weather. So what application 1 is going to do is it is basically going to send a get request to the application 2, and once the application 2 receives the get request from application 1, okay, now it realizes it has to send the data to the application 1. So what it does, it basically sends the data to the application 1. Now how the data is being sent in between these applications, there are different types of formats. Like for example, we have JSON format, we have XML format. In JSON, it is basically key value pair, and XML basically contains XML tags and values to those XML tags. So this is how the data is being shared in between two applications. So that is what the web services are. Basically, if you wanted to share the data between two applications, you can go for web services. So this is in general terms. Now let us actually understand web services from the perspective of Business Central. Let us say you are building an application. Let's say we can call this BC extension because we develop extensions in Business Central. And in here you wanted to integrate with an external application like the weather related data application. Basically, let's say this is an external application, and this external application basically provides the data for your Business Central extension. Let's say you are creating sales order in this Business Central extension, right? We can create sales orders in Business Central. it comes with the native functionality. But let us say you wanted to get some sales related information from an external app. Basically what you have to do is you have to consume these web services in your business central extension. So basically you're going to send a get request to this external app, and this external app basically going to send all the sales related information to your business central extension. And in here basically you are going to read all the data and insert the respective sales orders. Now let us actually understand the second scenario where you have to provide some data to the external application. Let's say you are again developing a BC extension, but now you are responsible for sending the data from Business Central. So in this scenario, basically you can create web services in Business Central. Web services in Business Central, like we have API pages, we can also create SOAP web services, we can create OData web services, we can create REST APIs. So all of this stuff we can do in Business Central, and we can expose the Business Central data to the external application. Like for example, in here we can say external application, and this external application can basically consume the web services which are developed in Business Central. So these are the two scenarios that we are going to explore in this web services playlist. So if you don't want to miss them, you should definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Also, you should watch the subsequent videos that I am going to upload in this particular series. So that is what we can do with the Business Central. Now if you understand web services, there are different types of things that we can do. Like for example, we can get the data. That means, like for example, I wanted to consume some data from other application and I wanted to get the data from that application, then I can go for get, and you can post the data. Like you can send your data or you can post the data. Basically means you can create new records, you can delete the data, you can update the data, put, and you can patch the data. So there are different types of operations that we can do on APIs, like get, post, delete, put, patch. All of these we are going to see extensively in detail in coming videos, so do not worry about this. Also we are going to see about authorization. Like for example, let's say in your BC extension you wanted to have some data from the external application. Now external application needs a way to verify if this request is coming from the authorized person. Like for example, you have to now actually authorize BC extension to basically get the data from the external app. So we are going to see authorization, like different types of authorizations that we have: basic, OAuth, Windows authorization, all of that stuff we are going to see extensively in detail. So that's all that I have about web services in general, also web services in Business Central. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. As I said, I'll be uploading more videos in this particular series called Zero to Hero Business Central. So if you don't want to miss them, you should definitely consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you.